Tuesday show. It is the Nashville Caveman Podcast. I am your host, Damo Unleashed, with a good brother of mine. Go ahead, introduce yourself, and plug in anything you need to plug in.
Well, first of all, thank you again for allowing me to be on this show on this Tuesday. I look forward to Tuesdays. Thank God for me not only seeing another day, another week, but another year, because a lot of y'all might not know, but every December the 12th, I celebrate a birthday. And so I remember a few years ago, I celebrated 12-12-12, December 12th, 2012. You know what I'm saying? So I was blessed to do that. So as a Sagittarius, I always enjoy December the 12th. So tonight, for the radio show, which y'all see at the bottom, offtopradio.com, will be a birthday special. So since this is my special day, what I'm going to do is I'm only going to play the music that I enjoy for my birthday. So stay tuned for the D-Bling radio show, the Sky Black birthday special tonight. And then again, the music that we play on offtopradio.com, we stream on offtoprecords.net. And then Thursday nights at 11 p.m., my podcast, CEO Cartel, we get together. Right now it's just me, but I get together and we talk about businesses, like subjects that affects entrepreneurs. And I talk about them through three aspects: the employee, the employer, and the customer. So you might want to tune in for that. If you up and can't go to sleep on Thursday nights at about 11 p.m. Central Time, tune into the CEO Cartel. So Damo, how are you?
Man, I am pretty good. Thank God them storms are over. Them storms were horrible over the weekend. We've actually, I think they said we had 5 tornadoes in the area of Davidson County or Middle Tennessee. I think it was like 13 overall on Saturday. And so, man, prayers go out to all those who are out in Clarksville and the Madison, Nashville area and Springfield and somewhere else. Somebody else got hit pretty good, Hendersonville. And so prayers go out to everybody that was affected. And to think, man, we have a tornado in December, that's wild.
That is wild. That is wild.
That's wild, man.
It is wild. In other places, people like, hey, it snowed in June, it snowed in July. And I can believe it because of the way you live. But Tennessee, man, is so unpredictable with this weather, man. It's crazy. You don't know what's coming and when.
And, we were talking about, because we had fatalities over the weekend with this tornado. And it was a gentleman who was in his trailer. His trailer toppled onto another woman's trailer who had an infant child, killing all 3 of them, right?
Yes.
And I think that in Middle Tennessee, they need to outlaw them trailers. I don't think they should be legal to be in the state of Tennessee or anywhere that's considered tornado valley.
Correct. Absolutely.
Because those are instant guaranteed deaths if a tornado come through. I mean, even in a house, you're not really safe. You don't stand a chance in a trailer.
I guarantee you're going to be in a different address when it's all said and done.
Right.
You won't be at that same address when that tornado comes and you living in a trailer. Now, these new modular homes, I think they're building them a little bit differently, if you know what I'm talking about, like Clayton homes and stuff like that. But those old school trailers that look like they came off the back of a truck, those 80s and 90s looking trailers, those are death traps,
And here's something, Sky, that I don't understand why they don't do. If you live in a trailer park area, why not just require that there be built a storm shelter? Why isn't there a storm shelter in trailer park home areas?
I never thought about that. But then it depends on how big the trailer park is. Like, let's say it's holding 1,000 people. So you would need a place to hold 1,000 people safely while this tornado is coming through.
Well, I don't know.
And if the shelter's in the front, then the back people got to get there. And if the shelter's in the back, the front people got to get there. So might be a couple of variables in there on why they don't do it.
Yeah, even if Now, I haven't seen a trailer park that big. Ooh, that's scary if houses have become that expensive, where we got like thousands of people in the. Because I've seen them, but I haven't seen them that big. If they are,
you might not have 1,000 trailer homes, but depending on how many people live in each one,
you got a point.
So
you got a point. Yeah.
And then you got the elderly, the disabled, and the young especially if they're in wheelchairs, walkers, whatever, to get to wherever you try to get to. Well, shit, you just might be safer hiding in that bathtub and just pray to God as it comes through.
Yeah, but at least Sky. At least if they had one of those storm shelters, you can't save everybody, but I think it's better, even if you could save 100 people, better than everybody being wiped out. Because all of them people that are in them trailers, y'all don't stand a chance. I'm just telling you. And I'm not even talking about an EF4 or EF5. I'm talking about an EF2, EF3. Y'all don't, maybe even an EF1. Y'all may not stand a chance. So I think it's just better to have one to save at least a couple people than not have nothing and save nobody at all.
That's absolutely true. Again, those old school ones, man, I've seen some just been sit on bricks.
Yeah.
And they have steps that lead up to them, so if you live in one of those, you might want to either have somebody come out there and give you a better foundation, or you better have an emergency plan just in case a tornado does come through. Because in Tennessee, it's rare, but when it comes, and it will come when you least expect it. So at least having a contingency plan for when it does come.
Right. And government officials, man, if y'all going to make it to where people can have those things, then I think you guys need to go ahead and see better ways that you guys could keep them safe. Right. Because, man, if y'all can't keep them safe, that's the government's job, safety. That's why it's all so much red tape. Why don't y'all put red tape on that stuff? Because, man, I don't think it's cool that y'all allow people to put these trailers up knowing that we're in Tornado Valley. And we've had 2 major tornadoes in the last 3 years. Remember, we had one in 2020. So not even 3 years later, we have another one. So this is officially Tornado Valley. We wish y'all would do something to protect people. A better job than y'all are.
Oh yeah, they doing something. They forcing these people to get tornado insurance.
Yeah.
If you're in a flood area, you are forced to get it, or you can't be in that property. Because I know they've called me and they've asked me for my address, State Farm, because that's what I'm with, and to make sure. Because some of the stuff was automatically in my policy as a homeowner, but then you know how crooked people are. They took some of it out, so they had to call me to find out my address, my zip code, to say, hey, this is what's in your homeowner policy. But if you're in a flood zone or a tornado zone or earthquake prone zone, you have to spend extra money on this and put this in your policy.
Right.
So, yeah, that's what they're doing.
and that's unfortunate, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They something need to change. I just know that. You can't get me to buy no motor home. Them what they call them, mobile manufactured homes. You ain't gonna get me to get none of that. Not in this state. If I had something like that, I think I would go further north. Even though for the most part they get tornadoes too. Right. But the likelihood of them getting one compared to us getting one down here is very slim. It's almost like every year. Now it feel like we're in the tornado zone all year long. I mean, is there any point to safe now? We've had them in fall, winter, spring, summer.
Yep. That's true. And I don't know if it has anything to do with climate change. I don't know what's going on. I have no clue, but I'm not shocked. I mean, nothing stays the same. So eventually, Tennessee is going to start getting things that we're not used to having: floods, mudslides. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It could be an earthquake, let's say in Arkansas. But we could get the after effects here in Tennessee. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if they had an 8.9 earthquake, we could at least get a 3.4 aftershock. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, there's really no place that you can call yourself completely safe. So this is why you have to have emergency plans. First of all, before you even move somewhere, find out about stuff like that.
Right.
Find out what their danger zones are, not just the neighborhood, the schools, and all that old stuff. Find out the danger zones, right? Because when I moved, I wanted to know how much water was here in Wilson County, just in case if it floods here, you know what I'm saying? How much, especially if you live next to a lake or a pond or something like that, and be prepared for that. A lot of people, I think, just are not prepared. I think a lot of those lives could have been saved over this weekend if they was just prepared,
Right. Because I'm going to tell you, if I live, and I'm glad you said that, because right now, for this upcoming year, I've been looking around trying to get an understanding of acres. Eventually, that's what I would like, man.
Right.
I'm telling my daughters now, go ahead, get some acres. Get acres, because once you own the land, it's more beneficial than these houses right now, which are so expensive. You know what I mean? Like, the interest rates right now are ridiculous. For young people, unless they have a very six-figure paying job and they with somebody else who least got close to that, you don't qualify for no homes here. These homes are super expensive, first of all. Second of all, I think it's just better to own land and build a house on it than it is to buy a house that's already. Some people may, disagree with that, but I just think it's just better to own acres.
No, and I agree, and here's the reason why. Because a lot of people use the term upside down or underwater, which means that if you buy a house that's for $300,000, right? But it's only worth $200,000, you upside down or underwater. If you buy a house at 29% interest rate, you upside down underwater. But there's one more that they're missing. You said these houses are expensive, but they're also cheaply made.
Yes.
So you are still upside down. So I can buy a house that's worth $300,000, right? For $300,000 at a 2.9% interest rate, but I'm still underwater because the materials that they use are cheap. They're charging you all this money, but they're using cheap materials. Most of that money is going into labor, not your materials. That's why your water heater will go out in 5 years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. So that's one of the things you have to think about when you want to own homes. That's why a lot of people don't want to own, because they have what they call ghost costs. You don't think about maintenance, grass cutting, all this gutters, roof. So you have millionaires that are renting homes. They don't own them. They just rent them because they want to call a landlord to say, hey, come fix this.
Right. You're right, man. And so, and looking up acres, man, that's something that I have to consider. Water in the area. Not only that, but I don't want anything in the Great Plains, meaning that it's just flat surface land. And I know there's a chance that a tornado can form there, because most of the time, when they do form, it's in open lands. Like Kansas City, Oklahoma, ain't nothing but farm. There's nothing, man, to stop that funnel from spinning.
Right.
And
that
so
right. And that's probably one of the reasons, because I researched most of America, right? It's like 320 million of us live on the East Coast. Right. Do you know that? Did you know like over 80% of people live on the east side of the United States? Less than 20% live on the west side of the United States.
Yeah. Montana, or North and South Dakota. Those are states, but you're not going to have high population out in that, it's a lot of land and it's frigid cold. Think of how cold it is. So you will have more people in New York or Chicago, because those were cities that were formed long ago.
Right.
But ain't nobody going to build in no dang Montana.
And no joke, I be forgetting that some of them states exist until they come on the news, like Montana, Wyoming, like
Utah.
That was a state. Yeah, that was a state. Utah, Iowa, like really? I was watching college football the other day. It's like, damn, that's a state. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because if you ain't thinking about Nevada and California, the rest of it you really ain't thinking about.
Right. Because most of your population, I'm quite sure, on that half of the country is in Texas, California. Let me see who else out there. Maybe Arizona. That bottom boot area. But other than that, the middle part of it, Utah, Oklahoma.
Yeah. You got Washington State. You got Oregon, which is above California. Like you got to drive all the way up to Northern California to get into Oregon. So you forget about Oregon.
People from places.
Yeah.
People are moving away from them places. You know, man, the politics is horrible out there. It's like lawlessness. So nobody's trying to really stay in Oregon or Washington or California. I even, you know, my brother, man, he stays in Arizona.
Okay.
And I was telling him, I was like, you know, man, I was looking out there. I know Arizona got a lot of land, but what scares me about Arizona is that they're letting an influx of immigrants into Arizona. Mm-hmm. Why would I want to uproot my family and move somewhere like that?
Right.
There's going to be problems in the next 5-10 years. Mm-hmm. That whole state is not going to look the same. So people are moving from there. They ain't trying to move to Arizona no more.
Well, if the immigrants don't kill you, the rattlesnakes will.
Exactly. Or the heat. Or that damn heat.
Man, any state that has a snake roundup, I don't want to be there, right? Arizona, every year, every summer has a rattlesnake roundup because there's so many of them. And in Florida, down at the Florida Keys, I just see it on my Google that this woman caught a cottonmouth. I mean, that damn thing's like 20 foot long, and she looked pregnant. I mean, this is ridiculous. So Florida and Arizona will be the two states I can't live. I'm sorry.
Man, I want to apologize to y'all, man. I know we getting interruptions right now. NES, because of these storms, they're working on power lines. So please, you know, be patient with us, work with us, man, as we go through this. I cleaned my cookies, and obviously, man, that still hasn't worked. So, you know, bear with us, man. Just hang tight. We appreciate you guys tuning in. I know I wanted to get into football too, because, man, football, both our teams won over the weekend.
Yep.
You know, and this is interesting. It is so many 7-6 teams.
Yep.
And the Houston is upset. I've never seen Houston getting beat down like the Jets like that. Who saw that coming?
I didn't. I thought it was going to be a good game, but I just hate the way the media overhypes these players. CJ is good, but he is a rookie. Okay? Right. He won 3 games in a row, right? So all the defensive coordinator from the Jets had to do was go back through those last 3 games that he won and find out what he was good at and what he wasn't good at. And when you take away a quarterback's what they're good at, this is what separates the good from the Hall of Famers. You took away Tom Brady's what his bread and butter, he still found other ways to win. CJ Stroud in that game, you took away his bread and butter, then he wasn't recognizing defenses, he wasn't recognizing coverage, he's holding the ball a little too long, that's why he took that sack and got that concussion. You holding the ball too long, wasn't because you scared to throw it, because you thought when you did your coverage look that we're going to play man or zone, and then you snapped the ball and they didn't. So now that's what kills me about it. He's a good player, but ESPN and Fox, stop overhyping these guys. Because now what you doing, you are putting a target on that young man. And I think that hit that he got could have been a little bit of assault. Did you see the hit?
No, I know he went out with a concussion.
It was a clean hit. But that defensive lineman let him know, hey, young man, welcome to the NFL.
I got to go watch it now. Was it that bad?
Yeah, he got a concussion and left the game.
Wow. And so,
and you see the back of his head. Even with a helmet, you know, these helmets are like so technology now in 2023 that if you get a concussion with that helmet on, you hit that ground pretty hard. They ain't like them old schools. I guess when me and you were back playing, shit, a good gust of wind would have gave you a concussion back then. These are made for really, really protecting your head and your brain. And when that defensive line hit him around his chest area and put him to the ground, his head bounced like that off that turf.
Man,
yeah, that's stuff.
And you know, another game that shocked me was the Bears beating up on the Lions. Who saw that coming?
In my opinion, I call it a sleeper game because when you play teams like the who's at the Jaguars, when you play teams like the Bears, you think they're going to just lay down for you because of their record, right?
Right.
Those are still men at the end of the day. Those men still earn a paycheck at the end of the day, and those men still need a job next year. So when they look at the tape and you only won 1 or 2 games, and it looks like you've given up, guess what? You won't have a job next year.
Right.
The Bears know they're not going to the playoffs, so those men are playing for their jobs next year. So when the coaches are looking, like, hey, he didn't give up on this season, even though he knew we wasn't going nowhere. And I think maybe that was the very what it happened.
Man, I'm gonna try to think of another game, and there was a lot of upsets. Pittsburgh getting beat like they got beat. You know, they calling for Mike Thomas. They lost. Was it Thursday night? Trying to New England.
Oh yeah, they did lose to New England. Yeah, they did, and that's another game. Everybody thought Pittsburgh was gonna just beat New England. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, hey, these guys are not going to. Even though New England at the time had only won 2 games, they're not going to just lay down for you. You still have to go out there and play. And I think Pittsburgh might have just overlooked that game.
Man, they lost the week before to Arizona, who also
overlooked that one because Arizona only had 2 wins at the time. Yeah, overlooked that one. You can't overlook these people, man.
And that's going to cost them because now Cincinnati, beat up on the Colts. Right. Now all of a sudden they lose Joe Burrow. They lose that Monday night game. I think it was the Baltimore, and ever since. They've won 2 games, Jacksonville and Indy, back to back, and that gives them the tiebreak over both of them teams.
That is correct.
Now Cincinnati is in the thick of it. Actually, Cincinnati right now, if the season was to end, Cincinnati would start as the 7th seed.
Get out of here. Think about that.
That's crazy.
That is. But it's good parity for the league. This is really what the league needs every year. When they have these dominant teams that just every year just go to the Super Bowl every year, like Alabama, dominate, the fan base kind of dies out and be like, hell, we ain't got no chance. But when you have parity to where these people can believe that their teams now have a chance to win a division or make a wild card or make a good run, this is what the NFL needs. This is what ratings are about. This is what put fans in seats. Instead of me paying $200 for a ticket, I know damn well they ain't finna make the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? They ain't finna win this game, Right. But now you have that hope.
And you think about this too. Like Baltimore is not guaranteed to win that division.
No.
Let me tell y'all, Baltimore plays Jacksonville next week, and that's not no shoe-in win game.
Nope.
To me, that's the game of the week. Because Baltimore if Baltimore loses, right, then they're only a game ahead of Cleveland.
Right.
Okay? People forget Baltimore still got San Francisco to play.
That's right.
So it's not guaranteed that Baltimore wrapped up the division. Baltimore can still lose.
Huh? Did Baltimore win this week?
They were on the bye. No,
they won the bye. Gotcha.
No, this week they was on the they won. They beat the Rams in overtime.
Okay, in overtime. So the next 4 games, for Baltimore, if they don't win that division, that's a bust for them because you gave this man $250 million not to be a wild card team. So Lamar Jackson now has to put that team on his back. And the next 4 games, at least win, I guess 3 out of 4. 3 out of 4 might give him the division. Hell, all 4 will give him the division. But they better not go in as a wild card. Not paying that man that type of money that they paid him.
Man, let me tell y'all. So Cleveland got the Bears. I know they got Cincinnati.
Right.
They got Houston.
Right.
And they got another team I got to go look up. But they can literally, with Joe Flacco, because let's talk about that now. Joe Flacco coming in at 38 years old, has thrown for 500 yards in 2 games and 5 touchdowns.
Right, y'all on a 2-game winning streak, right?
Yeah, they just beat Jacksonville, but they lost to the Rams the week before. But it wasn't because of Joe Flacco.
Gotcha.
It was because of their defense. So if you got one of the top 3 defenses and your defense let you down, and your quarterback played pretty well, you can live with that.
Right.
You don't want to because your defense is supposed to show up, but they had a letdown. You can live with that.
Right.
So with a veteran quarterback and
I'm with you on that. With a veteran quarterback like Flacco, who is a Super Bowl champion, right? In a game, because the next 4 games are winnable. That's what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
Right.
When it comes down, 2 minutes left, 4th quarter, and you need a 2-minute drive to run that clock out, that's what Flacco brings that Deshaun Watson doesn't. Deshaun Watson, y'all paid him $250 million, but when it's time to throw that ball and make that throw, I will take Joe Flacco over Deshaun Watson, because what's going to happen is when that ball is snapped and the first receiver's not open, the second receiver's not open, he wants to take off and run like a lot of these running quarterbacks. And sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Flacco is going to stay in that pocket, take that hit, and make that throw to that third receiver to get that first down.
Did you see where he it was on a 4th down play where they all out blitzed him?
Yeah, I think I saw the highlight, yes.
And the dude was right open. That's what you get with Joe Flacco.
And old school football.
Yeah, he hung in there. And at the last minute, he found that dude streaking down the middle with nobody in his vicinity for the easiest touchdown I probably seen all year. And if we move this, you guys are only a
yeah. We 1 game under the Chiefs, yeah. In my mind, I still believe the Chiefs will win the division, but if we can sneak in as a wild card, that's a win for us. Because we had a terrible season last year. Russ and Sean Payton is not getting along. So if we just make a wild card, that's a win for Denver. Do you hear me? That's a win. We know we ain't going to no damn Super Bowl, but if we just get in and hopefully don't get blowed out in the first round, we good. We'll take that.
Right. So, it's going to be interesting to see who is going to be the top 2 seeds. I think right now, anybody can be the top 2 seeds.
Yeah. The parity in the NFL, yeah. I mean, you think about it, going into the season, we never thought maybe the Jets could be a top seed, the Dolphins could be a top seed, hell, the Browns could be a top seed, Cincinnati. These next 4 games, if Kansas City keeps losing, these next 4 games, you're going to have a team that was like mine that shouldn't even been talked about being in the playoffs, right? Might end up being a top seed. And you know what I'm saying? And man, come on. Woo.
And y'all team is dangerous. I'm saying this, man. The team play going to show.
And that's the problem. You're right. You never know which Denver team is going to show up. But one thing I will say about Denver and Sean Payton, he said old school. He knows the last week of the season into the playoffs, you got to have a running game. See, we're not going to rely on Russ. We're going to put together a running game. You see what I'm saying? Whether we have to do motion before that ball and snap, we got to put a fullback out there. If Denver can go old school and run, pick up 2-3 yards of carry, we should be all right, because at least open the play action. And that's what Russ was known for in Seattle, was that play action,
Right. So it's going to be interesting, man. Let me ask you this, man. So we are officially almost halfway to the way of Christmas. Man, do you guys have any plans?
Again, man, at my age, Christmas, Thanksgiving, all that stuff is just another day. For the kids and the grandkids and all that stuff, Santa is going to bring them whatever they're looking for.
Right.
I remember growing up, well, not growing up, I remember my kids were little, had to get up and watch them rip the presents open. I'm still sleeping there. And all I did was, while their mama helped them open the presents, I was the trash man. So I would have the black trash bag open where everybody throw the little wrapper. And she get that stuff tied, throw it in. I went back and took another nap. And no, I don't do that there. Hey, you get gift cards, you can get your gift. I don't mind wrapping because I love wrapping gifts. That's one thing I'm good at. I can wrap a gift. Do you hear me?
Man.
But it's 5, 6, 7 in the morning. Wonder what Santa brought you. You can tell me later when I woke up.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I absolutely hate wrapping gifts. You know, you have tape all over the place. It's probably so hard to open my dang gifts. I absolutely hate it, man. I wish there was a machine that I could just lay the gift on the belt and it just wrap it for me. You know, I'd rather change a diaper than, wrap a gift. Hell, diaper
Amazon probably sells it, right?
Huh?
Amazon probably sells it, right? A machine that'll wrap it for you.
Man, I wish I would have known about it when it was that time. But, I'm glad them days over with for me.
Did you go in the mall and they would charge you to wrap gifts? Like if I bought something from that store for extra $15, they would wrap it for me?
Wow, no, I didn't know that. Really?
Yeah, back in the day in the malls, did. If you wanted that good wrapping paper, it would cost you a little more. But if you wanted that cheap wrapping paper, they had 3 women at a desk. Like, would you like to pay extra $5? And she would wrap it, put the little bow, write the little name on the tag, whatever you wanted to write, and hand it to you. That way you didn't have to wrap it.
Did they do it per gift? $5 per gift?
Yeah, it was per gift.
Whoa.
The cheapest one was $5 because you might have like a small item. But and then if it got too big, a bigger size would probably run you 10, and then bigger 15, 20. But then if you wanted to pay $2, $3 extra on top of that for the type of wrapping paper, they had some wrapping paper, boy, that was like golden looking, like it looked like it came straight out of Egypt somewhere there. So you pay for that.
So damn, the wrapping paper is more than the damn presents.
Yep, sometimes, yeah. I told one lady, hell no. She was like, we can wrap it with this, and it'll be an extra $30. I'm like, nah, that's okay. I'm good. I'll go home.
You know what? I would have paid
and wrap it myself. But I love wrapping.
You know what? I would have paid that because I hate wrapping.
You hate wrapping? Oh man. Well, then we different then. So you don't mind getting up in the morning with the kids, right?
Man, you know what? No, I would prefer to sleep in.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
But man, you know how kids is. They come in, especially my kids. It's 3 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Why are we up at 3 in the morning? I can't get y'all to get up at 3, 4 in the morning for school.
Right.
Nothing else. But Christmas come, y'all up. And then, man, after it'll probably last 30, 40 minutes. And then, man, everybody go back to sleep.
Yep.
Now I'm up because, man, I done got that second wind. I can't go back to sleep. And here you is snoring your butt off.
Yep, and that's how it is. So I leave the family members that has that Christmas spirit and they love it. Here's the gifts. Here's the gift cards. You go take care of that. I did my job. I don't mind shopping. I like to go shopping. I don't mind wrapping gifts. I'll stay up 11, 12, 1 in the morning to help you wrap gifts. But just do not ask me to get up at 6, 7 in the morning no more because my kids are grown now. I ain't doing that no more. I'm so sorry.
Woo. Man, I'm so glad them days are over. Lord, thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
I love seeing your other parents. Matter of fact, I'm messy. Because let me tell you what, I see any of my people with young kids. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get that kid the loudest toy that I can get. You know what I'm saying? Because I think it is only my right to pass along the suffering I had to go through.
That's right.
So any drums, anything to make loud noise to drive you crazy, expect it, if you cool with me, to be under your kids' Christmas tree. I'm
talking about xylophones and the little turtles that they pull.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna just buy them an air horn just because I'm a butthole. Like, here you go, just keep squeezing this damn thing. You know what I'm saying?
Them air guitars.
Yeah, air guitars, all type of stuff, man. And I'm gonna make sure that you at least spend $20 on batteries too. And you ain't gonna get them cheap batteries. You gonna go out and get that Duracell, and Energizer. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because they're going to have fun.
Man, I absolutely love it. I don't.
No, I'm not causing trouble, Miss Allen. Girl, what are you doing?
I will say this though, y'all. If this has been a tough year, inflation is high. Like I said, I went to the store and orange juice was $7. So I know, man, what kind of financial position we in. I just want to say this. If you can't give your kids a Christmas this year, as high as inflation is, do not feel bad as a parent. Not this year, not next year, not any year. Don't feel bad if you can't do for your kids for Christmas. But let me tell you, the real Christmas is your kid got a roof over their head?
Correct.
Do your kid got food in their belly?
Correct.
Do they got clothes on their back?
Right.
Because there are a lot of kids that don't have that. And so I remind my children, you're living the real Christmas daily because you got a parent that's here for you and love you. In their case, parents. You got a roof over your head. You got food in your stomach, clothes on your back, toys and all that. Y'all don't play with that stuff anyway. They just made this holiday to break us. We always
and you're right. That is absolutely true. Even me as a child and my children, before Christmas would even come, let's say in November, we would have to go clean out our closets. My mama would make me clean out the closet because half them toys that they bought me the year before, I don't even play with them no more, or they broke. So same thing I do with my kids. These toys that you don't want me, we're gonna donate them. We're gonna throw this away because you ain't finna just build up 5-10 Christmases full of toys, and you open up this damn door and there's an avalanche falls on you. You know what I'm saying? Full of toys that you play with.
You gave me a good idea just now. I swear, man, you be making me turn me into a thinking man. Maybe one day what we need to do is we need to put together at the end of the year a toys drive where people give away toys that their kids maybe didn't take interest in or maybe they didn't play with, and kind of wrap them and giving them to kids that aren't fortunate.
And I can see that's great because in America now, what we thought was cool, the Buzz Lightyears and the Woodies and the toy trains, man, these kids, if it ain't an iPhone 15, they don't care about none of that stuff no more. That's why Toys R Us went out of business. There's no such thing as toys, right? Right.
And what is it? Mattel? I think it's one of the toy companies. So,
yeah.
So kids always like that, but maybe donate that parents that's looking to get, like you said, your people, man, was trying to get rid of toys, so they made y'all throw out toys. If there was like a toy drive to collect them, where you could clean them up and then rewrap them for a kid that maybe is less fortunate.
That would be absolutely great because you think about these immigrants that are coming over here, especially in Chicago, with these parents and these kids. Those kids are so humble that if Christmas they open up 20 toys that were used that they didn't know was used, they could care less. It's just I just feel like American kids feel like they're entitled now. They're not humbled anymore. Like you said, but a lot of kids ain't trying to hear that. You got a roof over your head, clothes over your stomach. They ain't trying to hear that because their minds are not there. But you take children who ain't never had nothing, that's been sleeping on the streets, eating out of trash cans and don't know where their next meal gonna come from, and you give them those toys that we think that we don't want no more. See, you're right. I could get behind that.
And let me tell you, them kids so humble that they can open up a pack of batteries and not have nothing to put them in and be happy with them.
And that's real talk. That is real talk. You know what, Mom and Dad, I'm gonna say these batteries just in case next year you give me something I can put the batteries in. You is absolutely correct. You is correct. But our kids, they want drones and all that old stuff, like let's try that because you got this damn thing flying over the neighborhood. You don't even know what the hell you doing.
Right. They think you a peeper or something now. They think
you a peeper or something now. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hey, I know we got about 20 minutes, man, until the hour. So I wanted to go ahead and jump into this, right? So the topic of the day is, and let me go ahead and start from the beginning because I want to add full context to, the show topic.
Right.
There are women out here that if they don't want the children, they get pregnant, they don't want the baby.
Right.
Even if the father of that kid wants the child, he has no say so because it's her body, her choice, her body.
Right.
So she can go and abort the baby. If she don't want it and she had a baby, she could drop it off at a fire station or drop it off to an orphanage or drop it off to a family member. And she has a pass to not raise that child if she don't want to. Whether she had the child or not. Me on said you don't find anything, you and the woman says, well, I want to keep it. I think that men, to make it fair, and I just wanted to go ahead and have a conversation about this. I think men should be able to sign away their parental rights, relieving them of all obligations or financial responsibilities.
Right. I know a lot of men who's done it, not because of that issue or whatever, but I just know a lot of men who's just like, I don't want to be bothered. And she's like, well, if you don't want to be bothered, sign over your rights because I'm going to move on with this guy who's going to treat him, blah, blah, blah. So I've seen a lot of scenarios, but it's such a touchy subject when it comes to that because if we just get down to the meat and bones of what you just said, I agree 100%. Because I've known girls to tell folks, hey, I'm about to get an abortion. I need $1,000. Blow that $1,000 and still have the baby and then collect child support. That's a business. You just got $1,000 down and then you leasing this baby for $500 a month. That's a business. Right. But when you talk about just human emotions about things like that, and whether it's up to the mama at the last minute if she wants to keep it or don't, I agree with you. The father, if he's a good guy and really wants to be a part of it, I agree. Don't hold him in the dog. And then if he wants it, you don't, and you want it, he don't, and all that good stuff. If he tells you up front, you tell him, hey, I'm 3-4 weeks pregnant, and he's like, look, we can't afford a child right now. Let's not do it. And you say, okay, and you hold it, and you have this baby. I agree with you because he told you up front before you brought this child into the world that we wasn't prepared.
Right. And I think the moment you go to the doctor, you know what I'm saying, or anything where the government get involved, I think there actually needs to be a social worker that come by and have a discussion with both of y'all. And if it is determined that he has no interest in being a father, but you're like, you know what, this is a gift from God and I want to keep it, right? Then he should be able to sign away his parental rights, meaning he don't have any more access to that child.
Correct.
Relieving him of all financial responsibility. Because obviously, you have it then, I'm guessing, financially to take care of this child. If you want to keep it, knowing that he's telling you, I don't have it financially. My life isn't together.
And one thing about it, he's honest up front. So that's star number one. You found a man who's honest up front, who ain't, pussyfooting you around. So at least he's honest up front and telling you what his situation is and what y'all's situation is. And y'all, he's telling you, look, we can have kids in the future. We just can't have this one right now because we are not ready.
Right.
So yeah, I do. But then it's the backlash of it because, again, there's so many people out here that's just against the word abortion. Like you say that, you gonna get hung, right?
Oh, yeah.
That you gave up your parental rights, you walked away, you was honest, but yet the people who will keep poking at you, talking about you're not a good father. You gave up your rights. You shouldn't have had sex. You shouldn't have, all of that is what factors in some people that's like, you know what? I know I can't do it, but I just so I can keep people out of my head, out of my ear, and have a peaceful life, I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyway.
Right. And you know what, Sky? I hear that a lot too. Well, if you don't want the baby, why didn't you just wear protection? And my question is, man, ladies, why wouldn't you require a man wear protection that's not committed to you? Because if he's not really committed to you, there's a high chance that he may not commit to the child. So the fact that he didn't commit to you should be a red flag that, actually down his he should y'all require him to wear protection.
Right.
Then to protect yourself. You need to protect yourself. It ain't even just about him. It's about you too.
Correct. I thought these girls was taking like Plan B pills or day after pills or all that little stuff. Man, anything you put in your body can reject it, right? So he has had sex with you. You taking this Plan B pill, your body's like, we don't like this. So it rejects the Plan B and you get pregnant. So I mean, it's just so many. The best thing, what they told me is abstinence, right? No sex, period, right? But who's gonna really go all their life with no sex? But to me, it's a conversation to be had while you're dating before you decide to get intimate. Unless your profession is sleeping with men and getting paid, then yes, you better have a pack of condoms and a pack of Plan Bs and a pack of day afters. That's just your profession.
Right. And nowadays, I think even if it ain't your profession, you think about it, right? You got one person that maybe has 6 sexual partners.
Right.
We're even lessening to this. We'll say that one person slept with 3 people.
Right.
You got to take one of slept with one. Now, you sleep with one person? You done slept with about 100 people. I mean, think about that. Because you got to consider who they slept with in the time frame that they done slept with that person and who the people they slept with and then who the people they slept with. So you sleeping with a lot of people. People don't ever look at it like that. But you really are.
That'll mentally drive you crazy, right?
Man, the scary part about it? Because, this is why I hate that my mind is wired like this. Mm-hmm. Think about the people that got 30 body counts.
Right.
And then you multiply, because you're just looking at the 30. You're not considering who those 30 slept with. And then all the people that people slept with.
Right.
Remember, that's what I was talking about. We all hand-me-downs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we all, man, and we all should be going to the doctor and is having the routine check. Just based off of that alone.
I just watched something on YouTube because, after they've gone after your boy, I can't think of his name. Now they go, Diddy. Now they going after Russell Simmons. You hear about that?
No.
Yeah, oh yeah. Now they going after Russell Simmons. He's not even in the United States. He's in some country where he can't be extradited back over here, right? And so the guy is interviewing him, and he's talking about he slept with thousands of people. He didn't say women, he said people. And most of the time, he was having foursomes. So could you imagine what you're saying times 4?
That's scary.
Oh, yeah.
That's scary, man.
You go on YouTube and look it up. Just type in Russell Simmons and it'll come up. That's what I was watching earlier before we did this live. I was like, good Lord. Yes.
And people be like, them dudes got money. And man, it's so easy for them. So it's not shocking that it's taking place. That just comes with, that's why I'm glad that I built everything before I have to deal with money. Thank God I didn't come across money first and I come across structure. Because, man, I ain't gonna lie, man, it's in our nature to go ahead and do that anyway. But, man, you get a dude with money and shoot, man. And money, people will sell out for money. We just
People
go
do sell them for money.
people say they sell their souls.
They sell their
Especially
grandback
these
up the river
females.
for money.
Think about this guy, especially these females.
Yeah.
Do.
Right. You're freezing up, Damo.
Some old wrinkle dude came with $500. You don't think they gonna take it? They gonna laugh it out like they ain't. They gonna take that.
Not only they gonna take the 500, but they might set them up for another 500. Take the 500, take him back to the hotel, and them goons are gonna be round the corner, coming through the door too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be careful with that too. You know.
But a lot of them now with Cash App, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta carry money. And you got a Cash App, you got Venmo. It ain't the same now. The whole game done changed. You can go ahead and wire somebody some money right after.
Right.
Not even have money on you.
Right.
So these old dudes, they are in position to win.
And that's true, but there has to be a trust, right? So
right.
Am I gonna if it's the female gonna trust that when he's done, he's going to do it? See, with Cash, she's getting it right then and there.
I'm gonna tell you
why he does her thing, and he gets up and puts his pants on and walk out that door. She's been fucked twice. Excuse my language.
But let me tell you this. See, this is where the women always have an advantage. That R word. They know that R word. Oh, if you ain't gonna pay.
You breaking up?
No, I was saying. You took it. She didn't give it to you. You took it. You're in a lose situation.
That's why I gotta be careful on who I shake hands with, who I hug, all that stuff.
Yeah, it's deep.
I mean, it's gotten that serious to where you better not hug a woman wrong. You know what I'm saying? I feel violated. Like, goddamn.
Right. Well, you can't play with these women out here. You tell them you're gonna pay them. You better pay them, because if they throw that word out there, and we've seen them stories, flip the whole dude's world upside down. It has cost men millions. So
correct. And especially if they think you got something,
right?
You know, if they think you got a little money or something, then you got to be careful on how you move. You got to be.
Yep. But man, fellas, I would tell y'all this. You know, I'll wear a condom regardless, and take that mug with you. I don't care if you got to tie it up, put it in your pocket. Don't throw it away in that hotel. You know, don't throw it away in her house. You better take that thing with you and carry you some sandwich bags. You know, put it in the sandwich bag, zip it up, and take it with you and throw it away elsewhere.
So silly. I ain't heard that one there, you boy. Woo, that's a new one on me. But that's what I'm talking to, because I know women, if you go into a girl's bathroom and you see a turkey baster in there, you better not leave that condom. You better not leave that condom. And then women will take that turkey and suck it out and put it, all that stuff.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's
I'm
crazy.
just telling y'all, fellas, y'all, you know, I think we should. They don't give men enough rights. I think they railroad men, and I don't even think they even care about the women's rights, to be honest.
Right.
You know, I just think the family court is a business. It makes them millions of dollars. It is an absolute business. They hoping all of us are single parents.
Right. Everything is a business now, man. It's all about money.
Yep.
It is. And they just use your emotions to get money. Because, I mean, if I tell folks that I'm doing this for the kids and the elderly and the servicemen, you're just playing on my emotions to get my money. Because without money, you can't exist. So, you know, you got to be careful with people when they try to, with the word they used to use back, and they peddle you something. You know, what are you peddling today? You know what I'm saying? So you're right. You're right. It's a business.
And you think about this too. I don't know what people think about this part, but once you're a single parent, man, they kind of got both.
Oh.
You know, you are not dependent on. they want.
Right.
If the men aren't in a financial position, they got control over them too. So if the men don't keep up and they don't pay that child support, they take them to prison and ruin their life. So actually, man, that is the perfect system to enslave and keep people enslaved. And control
going to jail for child support. Like I have family members and partners in the hood that's gone to jail for child support, right? Now they don't put you in one of those hardcore prisons where you're there with murderers and all that. But you in there with other common thieves, you know what I'm saying? So imagine you in prison in a pod and they ask you what you in here for your next 6 months because I didn't pay child support. So you're in prison or in a minimum security prison because you didn't pay child support. That's crazy.
Ain't that some stuff?
This dude don't hit us CD players out of cars. You know what I'm saying? This dude done broke into houses, and here I am sitting here because I didn't pay child support.
Here's something that blew my mind. I came across a video where this guy is paying this woman $1,500 a month in child support, and she still won't let him see the kid. One support.
Correct. That's right. I mean, and it goes back to the conversation we had on an earlier podcast about, getting a paternity test, because if you sign that birth certificate or if you become guardian of a child that's not yours, you can't pay child support. I know folks that pay child support on kids that are biologically not theirs. So you have to be careful when you with these women too, because if you're in a situation where you with a girl, because Tennessee has that common law marriage. You with this girl for 7 years and y'all taking care of this child for 7 years, and she leaves or do whatever, and she needs support because this is the way the child has used to living, they can get you for that. So you got to be careful on dwelling, sleeping, signing paperwork. You got to be careful.
You know what, Sky? I think, and this is a reference to, something that we was talking about a couple shows ago. Mm-hmm. I think that you shouldn't be able to draw child support until there's proof of a DNA. So I think before that first payment, there needs to be proof of paternity.
Right.
And if you don't have that, you need child support until you have that.
And then
see guys go paternity. You say, hey, right, I'm not taking. And if they go after Ted, that's on Ted. Ted, you should have went in there and got that DNA test.
And got that DNA, because I know for a fact a guy who thought the child was his. And when he found out that it wasn't 10, 12 years later, they was not taking him off child support. He still had to continue to make those child support payments because you decided that you was either going to sign a birth certificate or be the custodial parent, have the parental rights to this child. We're not going to just all of a sudden after 10 years cut off this support for this child. Is what the judge told him now. And then you have to keep paying for this child till it's 18, even though you done took the DNA test 8, 9, 10 years later. I'm with you. You should have took it that day. But 8, 9, 10 years later, and you're still paying on the child that's biologically not yours, that you thought was yours, and you didn't know she went and creeped off somewhere else.
Man, and that's another subject. I know this is a subject for another day. But here's what I just don't get. I understand people make mistakes, right? But why are you out here? And this goes back into what I'm saying. People be cheating and don't even protect themselves in that fashion. Like, think about
Right.
And so I'm just saying, man, you sleep with one person, you sleeping with a whole bunch of people. The people that is true. You sleeping with a whole community.
And that is true. And that's why I try to tell these young men, don't be a slave to your penis. Don't be a slave to your penis. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
that penis will get you in trouble for a long, long time.
Y'all better go get Becky 3000, put her under the bed, get that off, and then go out, and then that way you done already succumb to your urges. You ain't got to worry about, man, hell. The child support ain't it. I'm allergic to child support. I start to scratching when you say child support. Hell.
I've been on both sides. I've been on and off. I've been in the courtroom for myself. I've been in the courtroom, but at the time, my kid's mama, when she was trying to put the other daddy on the job, I've been through. So when you talk about child support, I ain't telling you nothing I've heard. I'm telling you, I've physically been in there, physically what the judge told the man. I don't care about how much you have to spend on your medicine. Right? He's there with his current wife. He can barely stand up. He needs medicine to survive. The judge told him, I don't care if you don't pay your child support, I'm gonna lock you up. In the great state of Tennessee. I've been there, done that.
That's deep.
I got some stories to tell you, brother. I'm telling you. I mean, people not showing up. Some of the women are like, you know what? I don't even want to do this no more. He ain't showed up. I'm not coming back. I've seen it all go down. Do you hear me? I'm just thinking, man, this child support thing is no joke. Even if you didn't have a job, because at the time minimum wage was like $6.15. So even if you didn't have a job, they gave you what they call a ghost job. So $6.15 times 40 hours a week is however much times 4 weeks, and that's what you still had to pay, even if you didn't have a job.
Wow. And they don't even consider that if you have a whole nother family. And that's why I said this whole system.
Other kids, nothing.
Right.
Nothing. I'm telling these judges back then, man, especially if it was a female judge, because there was one back in the day in the late 90s, early 2000s. And I think her husband had left her. I mean, she was a well-known child support judge, and I can't think of her name, but she was a black-haired white lady, right? So every time she looked at a guy, all she saw was her husband, who left her with 3 kids to support. So you wasn't gonna win, because I'm not standing there as Sky Black. I'm standing there as Ted that left her with 3 kids to support to go chase some young girl. Oh, she's throwing the book at you.
Think about how deep that is.
Yeah.
Think about how deep that is, man.
Yes. I'm telling you, and everybody that I used to talk to, they're like, I got Judge such and such. Like, well, you might as well open up your wallet because you for pay, and if you don't, you for go to jail.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And to me, it ain't worth it, because I've known people go to jail 3 times. So they spent 18 months of their lives in jail because they didn't pay child support, And then you got all these guys got all these kids. How are you supposed to live when you paying child support for 6 kids? That's crazy.
Man, and then not only that, they lock them up. So now it's hard to get a job because now that's on your record. You know what I'm saying? You can't get driver's license. They revoke driver's license.
Yep, they sure do. You're right.
If you can't drive to work, and then if you can, it's even if you catch the bus, they say we're not going to hire you. You got this on your record, man. How are you going to pay child support? They just really put these men and fellas, y'all see dudes go through this and still become baby fathers? No way.
That's the part that blows your mind right there. That's the part that blows your mind, Damo.
Like, man, way how good it is. I can have diamond and gold at the bottom of it. I ain't going. You know what I'm saying? You ain't getting none of my man juice.
She can have a vagina like Wonder Woman. That is absolute crazy. And nowadays with inflation and stuff being so high, you might want to think twice before you have children. Now, there's a lot of Christian people that's probably watching us, and that's what the Christian people do. We get married, have children, have the white picket fence and the little dog. But in reality, on earth, in this scheme that you were in, I don't know what the child support costs are like now in 2023. I can tell you what they were 20 years ago.
Man.
But gas was 92 cents when I was having kids,
You know what I'm saying? And they lucky. A lot of y'all ladies, y'all lucky. Y'all lucky that they don't make prostitution and that stuff legal. Because I'm gonna tell you, there's gonna be a day that that's gonna happen. This country is so chaotic. We don't have any standards anymore, right? So anything's possible. When they figure out that they can make money off of it, right? Because y'all sleeping with multiple people anyway. Legalize that.
Right. Well, you know, in Nevada, they have the bunny house, right? They have the bunny ranch in Nevada, so that's legalized prostitution. And it's another one too that they have in Nevada that's legalized. You go in there and pay, and it's legal. So yeah, you know, and the reason a lot of things are illegal because the government ain't found a way to tax it. So that's what prohibition was all about, because they couldn't find a way to make money off of drugs and alcohol. But once they found ways to make money off of alcohol, then it became legal to have alcohol again. But once then they started learning how to make money off of marijuana. Now it's legal in some places to have marijuana.
They made it possible to make money off of strip clubs. So you know, if they done already did that, it's a matter of time before whorehouses become legal. All right, especially the more where in our society, people don't cherish or they don't value marriage the way they used to. People celebrate having kids more than they celebrate having a two-parent household. So we're trending on that. There will be whorehouses. It may not be in our lifetime, but it's coming. I'm telling you, it's coming. It's already in the form of OnlyFans. It's already online.
Digital whorehouse. That is, I didn't think about that. I don't know a lot about the OnlyFans. I really don't. You might have to educate me on that, because I don't know what it's for. I remember one girl on there was saying all she do is just show her feet, and me and paid the subscription just to see her feet. I was like, okay, really? You can't go online for free and Google feet and see people's feet online?
It's fetishes. People, you know, got any kind of fetish, and that's what it is, the online whorehouse. So it's only a matter of time before that becomes physical. Because, you know, when it comes to sex, our society is ill when it comes to sex. So it's just a matter of time. We are ill. You know, nobody is no off bars, no hold bars. They include kids and this stuff. They going in public schools, promoting sexuality. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to gender and sex, you know, they're normalizing a lot of this stuff. Once it becomes more and more normal to your kids, because it's not our generation that people have to worry about. It's this younger generation they're going after. They're making it normal for them to accept and talk about it. Once it's normal to them, that's when you're going to see men whorehouses physically become legal. And once that happens, ladies, y'all gonna find it hard to have a man that want a baby with you, because it's gonna be nothing.
That is absolutely great. Jasmine, thank you for saying happy birthday. How are you doing? And then somebody on YouTube saying call it financial abortion. I guess you could call it that, right? You know, you could call it that. You know.
Speaking of birthdays,
more women been having baby showers than being bridesmaids, and that is true. I didn't think about that. So then baby showers will become a business eventually.
It is. Them gender reveal parties they have.
Yes.
We weren't doing stuff like that. Only thing we cared about is that the baby was healthy.
That's
we wasn't celebrating no garbage like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We were celebrating. Man, I couldn't wait to be married. I'm gonna tell you, I was allergic to being single. I'm talking about, man, like dating. If I dated you and I saw there was no chance of me in marriage in sight, like you wasn't marriage material, it was over. It wasn't, because what would be the benefit of me being in a relationship? I gotta be loyal to only you. You know, if it wasn't about marriage, I'd rather be a whore. Let me go out here and be a man whore, or do what I want to do, and I have to answer to somebody. What point is it? I always looked at it like this. What would be the point of being in a relationship if marriage was
That's true too.
What goddamn members and track under my car, not my windows and all that. Not me. You know, I'm just telling y'all. And these females can't get it together. We need to get it together. Get you a plastic doll. Get you a blow-up doll. Do what you got, lotion, towel. Do what you gotta do. Don't have no kids out here with no women that you're not gonna marry. You a fool if you do.
And you should be able to vet them, right? You know, like I told you, I don't like first dates because first dates is like me being in the wrestling business. I play a character in the ring. The very first date, she's playing a character, right? You know, and so second date, third date, fourth date, you know what I'm saying? You should be able to vet these women to say, it's gonna go this way, it's not. If you meet their family, usually the apple don't fall too far from the tree. Like, you know what I'm saying? But again, they don't. They're a slave to their penis.
Man, let me tell you, I don't know about the apple don't fall too far from the tree.
He said dudes are getting passports and dolls now. It's about to be bad in the next 10 years.
Yeah. Especially with inflation, because you have to think about, you know, self-preservation. So with inflation on top of, and I said this before, a lot of women, you know, marriage for these women, children for a lot of these women, get the line. Talk how much a man. Of course, they want to make 6.
Yep.
If they get us what? They get it. They move another man in, and then they got their assets from you, their assets from them, and then that man's assets. Man, that's a home run. Think about it. So,
you're right. Men don't want kids anymore. I know me coming up, I think the real reason a lot of folks had kids was my parents and grandparents told me the reason they had kids because they didn't want to take out the trash and cut the grass. You know, and I think it's probably the reason why I had them too. But now, what is the real reason of, like you said, having children if you're not going to be a union? You know, if you're not going to marry or be together forever or raise this child to be a good human being or part of society, then you just bringing a bunch of bastards into the world, pardon my language, and then what are they supposed to do?
And it's not even considered your child. If you whoop the female and the once y'all part ways, you might as well say you're not the father. It's my child. Because it come out of them, my child. So what will be the value if you're going to have a child with a woman that don't believe in marriage? And
that's true. And see, and I didn't know this. Someone said it used to be a shame to have a baby shower if you was unmarried. You used to not get a baby shower if you was not married. Now people see having a baby as forever and marriage is temporary. So if marriage is temporary, right? Because marriage is a license. Right. So with my gun carrying license, I have to renew every so many years. You know, with my driver license, I have to renew every so many years. So why not renew your vows on your marriage license once or twice a year? You know what I'm saying?
Man, I tell man this. Me and Kobe talked about this in our show. I believe if you find a woman that is not against, she has to be totally against divorce. If you don't find a woman that's against divorce, by all means, don't marry her. Don't get married. If she's not against divorce, no matter what, it's not worth being married.
Right.
And Sky, me and you talked about this. If you're going to get married, make sure you do that paperwork because it is a business. Protect your assets. Meaning go and get that his and hers prenup. You know what I'm saying? Or get a family care package. Whatever you do, you got to have something laid out to protect your assets. Don't go in being a fool. Like Tyrese. Tyrese, man, his wife, she got with him because that was a lottery ticket.
Right. And some people do use it as a business. And you can go back to Janet Jackson when she married that Italian man. In the prenup, it said if she stayed with him for 5 years, she got $40-30 million. 5 years and 1 day later, she divorced. Yeah, you can look that up.
And so I'm telling y'all, if they're not in conversation if you find out, you see in their character that they are against, because a lot of ladies say, well, I left because he cheated, and all men do is cheat. Well, why you gonna find another man? He gonna cheat too.
That's
Work
right.
it out with the man you got. Because if you believe that all men cheat and your man cheat, you gonna go find another one who gonna cheat on you too, then I advise you to go ahead and just stay with the man you would, work it out, you know what I'm saying, for the sake of not just y'all, but for the sake of the kids.
Man, whoever this is spitting facts, man. I heard a chick say she'd rather have 6 baby daddies because of 6 checks instead of 1 split between the kids. So now it's an income. Now you talking like a Robert Kiyosaki having 6 streams of income, right? So 6 baby daddies means 6 streams of income.
Ain't that nuts?
Ain't that nuts? So you ain't got to work, you ain't got to go to school. All you got to do is raise these kids, right? And then when they get old enough, you can put them in daycare. They got to go to school, you know what I'm saying? After school care, over the summer, go to summer camp. So you living a good life.
Wife, we figured that out. Me and my wife, you know, the goal is for both parties to make it to the end of life. A lot of men don't want kids, but a lot of y'all don't think about this. When you get to be 50 and 60, and you can physically no longer take care of yourself, who's going to come by and look after you? Some of y'all going to be laid up dead in the house for about 2 weeks because, man, all your friends is old. They got their own problems they dealing with. You don't have no kids. You don't have nobody coming by looking after you. And you sick on the couch, man, got a boo-boo, can't make it to the toilet because you're too weak, and there's nobody to see after you. There's nobody calling, checking on you. A lot of y'all women, I don't need no man. Okay, well, let's wait and see when you're 60, 50, 70, when you don't have nobody looking after you. I don't know if y'all seen that video of that elder women crying, talk about, man, she don't have nobody. It's going to be a lot of y'all like that. Nobody looking after you. Nobody caring for you. You think if you go in a nursing home, these people going to care for y'all the way your kids would?
Probably
No.
Not.
No. So if y'all want go to get divorce, you treat your kids, you know, the way that you want them to treat you when you become.
Well, you coming in.
It went out. It went out again.
Yeah, I understand. But they're right though. You know, if you don't renew your marriage license, there's a penalty called alimony and child support, right? And so it's like kids, man. They say kids are a blessing, but sometimes, man, kids can make a lot of things difficult. That's why I love Bernie Mac in the Kings of Comedy, because he said what a lot of people are thinking. You know what I'm saying? You didn't talk bad about kids back in the day, but when he got on that stage and said what he said, man, kids can make things difficult.
Right.
And a lot of people stay together and just thug it out because of the children and all that other stuff. And I don't know if that helps the kids or not. Every day you wake up, your parents yelling and screaming at each other. All that does is just project negativity onto the children, you know? So this way, if every 1 or 2 years, like, did the marriage go well? Should we stay married or should we break up? We should be able to separate without the other person looking for child support or alimony or being ill will, because we did it amicably, right? We did it together. So that's the problem too. When you have to vet your spouse, you have to know, you ain't gonna know everything about your spouse, but you need to vet them enough to know that when things change, they're not gonna stab you in the back when you want to go do something else.
Right. Man, with that said, Sky, man, we'll be on here another 10 hours. We having such a good conversation.
Yeah,
we'll be on here another 10 hours, man.
And thanks to everybody, YouTube, Facebook, who's been commenting, man. Thank y'all so much. I really appreciate it, because, you know, I'm on here to learn too. So when you comment, you're teaching me things too. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I want to ask everybody that's watching, could y'all please subscribe? If you're on YouTube, please subscribe, hit the bell. That means anytime we go live, you'll get a notification. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and subscribe. It's www.youtube.com/@SoDrivenMedia. That helps us a whole lot when you guys subscribe. And then just hit the like button. It doesn't cost anything to go to the YouTube channel, hit the like button. It really helps me and Scott. Okay, so if y'all could do that for us, man, we appreciate it.
Please, yes, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. And if you think you got something out of it that will help other people, please share. You know, like you said, it's free. It takes 3 hot seconds to subscribe, like, and share. That's it.
Here. We got interruptions right now, so if you guys just bear with me, I want to go ahead and do the birthday shout out.
Sure.
Sonia Dozier, I want to send a happy birthday to you. Lula Barty, I want to send a happy birthday to you. Lula actually has on her Facebook page, Autism Speaks Inc. So she's doing a fundraiser. Her goal is $200. So I think that's phenomenal and amazing, especially on your birthday, a day that's all about you, to look out for other people. So I commend her for that. Let me stroll on down here and let's see what other birthdays we got. Carmen Beckett, happy birthday. Of course, man, my big bro, Sky Black, happy birthday to you, man. I'm glad you had a good birthday weekend. Latoya Marshall, happy birthday to you. I hope you are out here enjoying it. And Armesia Harris, aka Nick, happy birthday to you. I hope you are out here enjoying it also. Those are my birthdays. And
well, again, thanks to everybody who's commented. Paris, my WrestleMania sister, thank you for telling me happy birthday. I hope everything is good with you, and I hope to see you and your mom in Philadelphia next year, 2024. You know what I'm talking about. To everybody else who's on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, please, again, especially if you're on YouTube, thank you. Please subscribe, like. If you want to share that's fine too. Thanks to everybody who's giving me birthday shout outs, because it's a blessing to see another year. Thank you, Damo. Every Tuesday I look forward to this. You know what I'm saying? Again, if you need radio play, because thank you again for sending these artists to me. offtopradio.com. That is Off Top Radio. Shout peace and love from Arizona. Okay, shouts out. We in Tennessee, baby. Thank you. Offtopradio.com, and then we stream the music on offtoprecords.net. Shouts out to everybody in Arizona. Offtopradio.com and offtoprecords.net. So we have our own radio show for independent artists who needs radio play. We have our own streaming service. I'm a music publisher, so if you're a songwriter, holler at and let me know. And last but not least, don't forget my podcast, Thursday nights, 11 p.m., CEO Cartel. Back to you, Damo.
I wanted to go ahead and I'm going to give a shout out to Hat in Alabama, Rambo the King. Man, I've recently started doing interviews with artists, people who own businesses. Shout out to Ray Love in Arizona. Ray Love is a comedian and been doing comedy for 18 years. Him and his wife now have a bakery company. It's called Big Mama's Tea Cakes. So if you guys are in the farmers market in the Phoenix area, make sure y'all go and tell Ray Love, man, that I sent y'all. Man, that dude is a phenomenal guy. Great interview that me and him had. And also Duty Dude in Ohio had an interview with him, also another phenomenal artist. So if you have a business, man, any way that we can help you out, I would love for you to reach out to me. We are trying to promote and network and kind of do an interview, kind of like what me and Sky doing, but me and Sky actually running a podcast. What I will be doing with you guys is actually an interview. but it will be set up like this on multiple platforms. So anything that we can do to help you guys out, that's what we're here for. God bless y'all, man. Peace.
I gotta shout out Shane, Mr. Davidson. I'm doing okay. You know, today's my birthday. I hope to see you soon. Actually, I hope to see you at the next No Limit Pro show. So, Shane, I hope you have a great day.
So go ahead and give Shane that shout out again.
All right. Well, I guess till next Tuesday, my friend.
All right, till next Tuesday. Hey, Shane, did you want to leave that message for Shane because they had an interruption? So I was gonna go ahead and leave the floor for you to do that again, so he can.
Oh no, he got it.
Oh, he got it. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Shane, man. Peace, love to all of y'all, man. Please tap in next Tuesday. I want to say this. We're going to talk about the pros and the cons of social media. That should be interesting. So we're going to talk about the pros and cons of social media. Y'all tap in with us next week. We out.
Bye.